y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife, find ScrappyWife.com, and today I am Bible journaling in the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 20 is specifically what I'm looking at. This journaling is just coming from some thoughts that I had recently when I was at church, and I just wanted to kind of get it down. I am in my Bible right here, the Journal the Word Bible, which is kind of your classic Bible journal. So I have a stamp set, an older one from By the Will for God, some acrylic paint, and we're just going to go at it. So I will link things I use down below. I don't know if the stamp set is available anymore. I'm guessing probably not. So we'll see if I can find it. Otherwise, you can always check out By the Will for God. They have a great variety of stamps and other faith-based supplies that you can use. All right, let's go. All right, the verse that I am journaling on in the book of Matthew is, "For where 2 or 3 gather in my name, there am I with them." And this was just me thinking and praying for all those who have not yet returned from taking a break from church, from live church because of COVID, those who have not found a church family yet. I know that finding a church can be really difficult, and I was just at church this past Sunday just missing some of the people that used to be there, that have moved, that have not come back post-COVID, that are still doing church online, and I understand all the reasoning behind that. I just very much enjoy corporate worship, and it took us a long time. It took my family personally a while to come back in the midst of COVID and to come back with masks, and now we are without masks, and I completely understand the reasoning behind if you have decided to not attend live. It was just one of those times where I was missing all the people. Where are all the people? So I have my stamped church right here, and I'm just wanting to kind of do some abstract paint behind it. Originally, I thought I would just be able to keep the paint away from where the church was and just go straight on the page. That didn't happen. Of course, I got paint all over the place, and that's okay because I have a plan. I'll be able to fix where the church is. It won't be covered in paint, but I just wanted this abstract kind of scrape look. We're just doing little brush strokes of paint in the background, and I just chose a few different colors. It's a pretty simple page. Again, this one is just a quick reflection. Just wanted to make note of something that had jumped into my head. You don't always have to follow a devotional. You don't always have to be journaling a sermon series. Sometimes you can just journal something that is in your head, on your heart, something like that. So I did some layers, and now I'm going to come back with some more colors because I kind of wanted to build up a few of the colors. And again, just quick brush strokes. It's acrylic paint, so it's not going to go through my Bible page, which is fantastic, so that I will be able to definitely journal on the back of this page as well. I do let this dry pretty well before I start adding more over the top of it. The next thing I want to do, of course, I obviously covered up a lot of the church, so I have this extra piece of hymnal paper, and I'm going to emboss a church on the top of this hymnal paper. I like doing the embossing because you get just a little bit of a sheen, a little bit of a raised effect, and I think that it looks pretty cool. So all I did was use my regular ink. I'm going to put clear embossing powder over the top. It looks like I probably need some more clear embossing powder, to be honest. And then we will drop that right in there and then just activate it with a heat tool. It's like one of those super cool magical experiences watching the embossing powder melt. I think it's one of my most fun parts of crafting. So got that. And now I'm just going to trim it off, and then I'm actually going to mat it on black paper just so that it pops even more when I put it back over the top of where the church already is. This was a little bit of a tricky stamp to cut out, so I left a little bit of a border from the hymnal paper, and so once I put it on the black paper, it kind of looks like this neat double border effect, like double matting effect, which I like a lot. So let's just add some adhesive. I'm just trying to make sure that is dry. Add some adhesive on the back, trying to be pretty thorough, and then we'll put it on some black cardstock, trim it out a second time, and then it really does pop off pretty nicely from the painted background, kind of that painted color splash look. My home church is actually in the midst of a building campaign. We are building a beautiful new sanctuary to welcome even more of the community in. And of course, that weighs on my heart even more that we're still missing some people that were there before. So I'm hopeful that God is really preparing hearts and preparing minds to return to the church. It can be so hard to find a church family, and there's so many factors that go into it. And I know personally, I've struggled at different times with being in person at church. But I do know that once you have found a church family that you love and that just helps build you up, I think it makes a really big difference. So I have my church in place. Now I have all of these teeny alphas from Tim Holtz. Love them. Missing some of the letters, so I have to do a few adjustments. And I'm going to add my title. We're going to start with the bottom. It says, "Where are the people?" The full title that I will be adding will say, "Here's the church. Here's the steeple. Open the door. Where are the people?" Originally, I was just going to put "Where are the people," but I decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and add some more paint swooshes, paint little thumbprints in a way. I don't know, what do you call it? Little brush strokes of paint. I'm going to add those at the top and then bring the title kind of across the whole page or down the whole page. And then eventually I will add just a quick prayer that says, "Dear Lord, help all your people to find their way back to a church family. Amen." So, on a side note, I'm very much enjoying switching between my two different journaling Bibles. So, I actually have a spiral bound journaling Bible called the Illustrated Bible or the Illustrated Journaling Bible. And that one is wonderful and huge and gives you lots of room. And then I have this one that's more the size of a typical Bible, probably a little thicker just because it leaves room for the margins. But I like switching back between the two. I like being able to do just a really quick page in one of these more typical size Bibles, and then the ones in a journaling Bible take me just a little bit longer. But again, it's the process that is the fun part, the time spent with God and in His Word. I really enjoy that. So I like kind of changing it up. So let me know which kind of Bible you prefer to journal in, or if you prefer to do your faith art outside of the Bible. All right, once I underline the verse and add in my prayer, then this page will be done. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. I will link the supplies that I used down below, including a link to this Bible if you want to check it out. I want to give a huge shout out to all of my Patreon members. Thank you all so much for all of your support, all of your encouragement. It's helping me kind of continue this YouTube channel, and it really means a lot. There are tons of extra perks over on Patreon, and if you are wanting to check those out, you can check the link in the description box down below. All right, I hope that you have an absolutely fabulous day, and as always, keep it creative.